It is time for the biggest betting event of the year. We got anytime touchdowns, we got MVPs, we got overs, we got unders, and we got Swiftie bets. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that opening music got me vibing, boy. Got me vibing, man. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pot Betting. I am the host, I am the president, I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. And I got my guy with me. We all dressed in black because we ready to go for Super Bowl weekend. Teaser King himself. B Diddy, what's up, boy?
What's up? What's up, family? Money Pot fam. We had the last
Yeah,
week of the
man.
season, man. Is that why we
And
wearing
then there
black?
were two.
Because it's a last week of the season and we're upset, or
Well, I mean, we still got some things cooking. Always got things cooking, but yeah,
yeah.
you know,
But it's football
money,
season. You know, what I mean, it's the last
money
game.
does slow down a little bit. Basketball season. I've been betting here and there basketball a little bit, but I don't know, man. It's such a crapshoot with basketball. Even college. I mean, North Carolina just lost in North Carolina the Clemson yesterday in college basketball. So like there's no kind of consistency in college basketball or NBA basketball. So I'll wait to kind of work towards the end to get a little bit in my bag with NBA. But I'll tell you what, fade the Sixers and fade the Bucks. I'll tell you that right now. Fade them two teams right now because they are going the wrong way and they're going the wrong way fast. Doc Rivers ain't it. You know what I mean? I thought he was. I didn't mind Doc, but looking like he ain't it.
You thought that?
I didn't think last year was his bad. Now we can get into that a little bit later. People are watching to get these Super Bowl picks and get these Swiftie picks because DraftKings has it loaded up from left to right, up to down, left, right. Was it left, right, up, down, A B, select, start, whatever you want to call it. They got them all. So let's bring up our handy dandy sportsbook going with DraftKings because they really have been the king of props, really for a long time, and there's no way of even how to call it. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a nice little game of kind of compare and contrast, meaning that we're going to go through every tier of bets that we might have, from player props to anytime touchdowns to team totals to the Swiftie bets, long shots, MVPs, and kind of give you if we have a bet or we don't, and kind of give our take on those bets. So, first bets we want to take a crack at is really the player props. And I'll start with the quarterbacks. Kind of going to go with Brock Purdy versus Mahomes. And if you can look, it's fully loaded in terms of, let me get the thing right. Fully loaded in terms of betting props here. So, with these two matchups, and the way I see these two matchups, we obviously have kind of polar opposites, right? We got, the light skinned kid with the curly hair, right? With the no look, the flash, the Oakley glasses, right? Patrick Mahomes, looking like that new Drake out here versus, Brock Purdy with his small comb over, small demeanor, smaller guy, looks like, he couldn't shoot a free throw on the other side. Both teams are loaded offensively. Defensively, I would obviously go Chiefs here. And when I say defensively, I'm looking at the pass defense versus the passing offense. Mahomes, as he should be is over 261 and a half. Brock Purdy's over 246 and a half. I don't have a bet for the quarterbacks in terms of prop plays. I would probably lean here Purdy over because I think that the Chiefs are going to be ahead, and I think Brock's going to be forced to throw. I don't think I don't think the Niners can run their game, run to win this game. Purdy's got to play. He's going to have to play well, right?
Yeah, we're on totally different sides here, brother.
Ooh, 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 ooh! I like it. I like it. But I would pick Brock Purdy to throw a pick. Now I don't think it's juiced. I think it's too juiced at minus 135. But looking at these, I mean, you can even throw red zone picks. Ooh, the red zone picks look nice.
I don't know if he's thrown many red zone picks.
Yeah, I don't know if he has either. Pass and rushing might look. Oh, look at that. Pass and rushing is kind of low. 263. What was his over and under? Thought I heard a ding in the background. That means it must be our own professional gambler. They call him C Sharp. What's up, Sharpie?
What's up, everybody?
How are you?
What's going on, man? Go
My
ahead,
screen might
hold that in, Sharp. Go ahead, let it go.
my screen might be messed up. I dropped my phone.
No, you're
I
good.
got
You're
a
good.
I got a new one.
You're good. You're good. Sound like you doing a little puff pass in this gift. You just hold that stream drop. But like I was saying, 263.5 seems right. I mean, Purdy the last two games, he hasn't played well at all, right? He hasn't really played too well at all. And I would think the over probably would be here, but you say you on the other side of this, man. What do you see on this matchup?
Well, I mean, I was going by what you were saying as far as the Niners not able to kind of run to win this game. I think that's going to be their strategy. I think that's kind of what the lesson's been learned. I would assume Kyle Shanahan would probably go and stick to his guns. I think all season they are who they are. They are a run-led team. They're not going to be
Yeah.
like the Baltimore Ravens that's going to have this miraculous idea of getting away from them. I think Kyle sees that, and the Baltimore was that blueprint to make sure that, hey, we're going to stick to our guns. So I do see more of this ball being controlled by the 49ers as far as ball control. Um, I think the
Mm.
line is right where it needs to be as far as the Niners being favored in this game, but it's a short line, 1.5, 2. It's been bouncing back and forth. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people, as respectfully, should be caught up on the Patrick Mahomes magic. It is magic. He's special. Um, but for me, I would look at Patrick Mahomes passing unders. Um, I like his yards being under because I think the ball will be more controlled by the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of long
Mm.
drives, and it could be punts, field goals, and touchdowns. But I think the Niners will be controlling this ball, which will limit the Patrick Mahomes' ability to actually pass the ball. And if you think about a game, for instance, I'll give you an example. Last year's Super Bowl against the Eagles, it looks like it was a shootout, and it was, right? It was a 30. I can't remember that final score. I have the hat on
38,
right now.
35.
But I think Patrick Mahomes, what did he even hit 260? I don't even think he hit 260 yards.
Yeah, that
Um,
game was a little weird. The way yeah, it's hard to even explain that. But it was 38-35, and it does look like he had he was a shootout, but he only had like barely, like you said, 200 yards, if even that. But he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that was a weird flow game of how that got
and
so
if you
much
look,
scoring.
and if you look at the way the Niners have been playing, they've been holding quarterbacks under like 250 all season. I don't think this is going to change here, and I don't think Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, he's not a yard guy. Like he's not breaking 300 every year. Every game. He's just consistently on a winning team, coached really well by Andy Reid, and they focus on getting the right plays at the right time, which magnifies them being where they are right now, and that's champions. So, but that's what I looked at when I looked at that. I look at Patrick Mahomes unders passing. That's one of my lists here. I was actually looking and leaning possibly Patrick Mahomes
Much
under
better.
attempts, but I kind of fade away from the attempts. I just went to the yards and going under 261. I think that should be something that all for what we've talked about so far should be a good play there. That's a heavy lane for me.
Yeah, I like the take. Sharp, what we're doing is we're just going through kind of how we have the itinerary, just going through passing props, receiving, rushing, passing, see if we see anything we like. Anytime touchdowns, and just going through the full gambit and full slate of all these picks, from Super Bowl 58. I don't have any more else to add to this. It's going to be really a no play, but I think it's just worthwhile talking about the quarterbacks and what do they bring to the table, and do we see any value in any picks here? Obviously, on the under here on Patty Mahomes. How about you? You got anything you think, or we'll keep it moving? We'll go right to receiving because I think there's a lot to talk about from a receiving standpoint.
Oh, I mean, I don't have a lot to talk about for the whole game. I mean, the only bet I have is the under in the game. So like I would lean under on all these props here.
And that plays into the yard thing.
The Brock Purdy one stands out. Like I mean, in my opinion, the only way he gets over 246 is if San Francisco blows him out.
Yeah.
No, blows him out.
Oh, on the top. Okay.
Yeah, like just routes them. Like the Eagles had him by the ropes, and then remember that fumble 6 changed the game. Well, that's the only way if like San Fran gets up 17, then scores and they're up 24, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, come chase us, we're about to hang 40. then maybe it's like a 42-29 type game. That's the only way I see like all these props going over. The only way I see the game going over is honestly if San Fran just beats the brakes off Kansas City. But I just don't see that happening. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd stay away. But under 246 seems like a no-brainer. He's not passing for 250 on one of the best secondaries in the league. I'll tell you that right now.
And Nate, I want to just add too. I know we're in Super Bowl weekend, and sharp is sharp. You know, a lot of guys are going to stick to their guns and their game plan. And what Vegas is going to do is give you a plethora of opportunities to spend money, and it's fun. So for me, you go into this week and you're saying, am I having fun? Am I gambling? Is it like me going to Vegas and I'm sitting down here and I got money to burn and I'm going to go ahead and just take a chance on a lot of different things? Because there's so much going on this week. There's so many plays, so many opportunities for you guys to possibly lose money, which is Vegas wants you to do. So either you're going to come in with a gambling mentality and say, I'm going to have fun with it, or you come a little bit more strategic and you're going to stick to your guns. As far as your focus on your handicapping. I think this is what the show is about, to help you with those more sharper plays. At the same time, we want to have fun with the show too, because there are some crazy and fun, unique bets that are out there that aren't out there during the season. So, I mean, for me, it's like almost mind-blowing how much is out there.
So for me and people I've talked to, like sharp groups I've talked to and some of the sharper bettors I know, guys that bet big, they're either betting big on one of these sides, like they either have been making a lot of money on San Francisco all year, or they've been making a lot of money at taking Kansas City as the underdog all year. And so like they're pot committed on one of those sides, and for them, they're going to be in big. Or they're like me, where they've had a good season. They think the line is sharp and they're just not betting this week. That's where I've fallen into that category. So you kind of have all or nothing as far as the sharp betting community goes. You really don't have sharps like hammering props. That's I'll be honest.
It's for the public, really.
Props is more public bets. It's a big public betting. I'll tell you what. For me, this Super Bowl, like I'm just going to go to a party and do the Super Bowl squares and just have fun like everyone else and enjoy the commercials. Like
I want a square.
Yeah, that's
we should have did a square.
Yeah,
I don't know why
I just don't see a ton of angles here, so it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I think I hear both your settlements. You know, like you said, we do this for the people and to give as much strategic betting advice as we can, as we see it. If we were betting it, and we give our line too, if we're betting it or we're not. And that's
I mean, I like the under. Part of them. The unders of what I think. I mean, I think more often than not, this game's going to go.
And
low.
what you just explained too, I'm actually on the other side of that, because everything I have was future bets that are heavily KC. Like I have KC 7-1 to win the Super Bowl. I have Pacheco 4.5-1 to have the most rushing in the playoffs. So everything I have is KC. So I might be a little bit more lenient to KC, but also because it's also KC, right? You know, from a Mahomes Magic standpoint. And we'll get more into the handicap down the line about once we get to actually who we taking on the side or over and unders. But I wanted to still kind of run through the prop bet. So let's switch it up to the receiving props. Plethora of receiving opportunities here from IU, McCaffrey, Samuel, Kittle, Husek, who had a decent game last time San Fran was in the Super Bowl. Rashid Rice, Kelsey, you know, big names in the top names that we've seen in this league. And shout out to Travis Kelsey actually coming out here and talking about that he didn't invent the fade and how they put him on there on February 1st. He said it himself. He was like, really? They're going to throw me to the wolves like that on February 1st and talking about how I got the fade. I love that by him.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And to do it on February 1st, to throw me to the wolves like that was messed up, man. I don't want anything to do with that one, man. I got a good fade if you need it, though. It's a 2 on top, a nice high to mid fade with the taper in the back. But I didn't invent that. I just asked for it.
Stand up move by that, even though he gets a lot of slack for his, for the, what did he do that was all messed up? The pandemic thing with the COVID shot, how he wasn't against it. Now you see him on commercials, but stand up for, that February 1st comment, man. I like that. So, but going with that, I think it's heavily juiced. Obviously, Kelsey minus 166 here. I think there's some value on Rashid Rice here.
100%.
in my opinion. I think Kelsey's obviously going to be the focal point, and as you've seen over the last couple games, the tight end has gotten a little bit loose against San Fran, especially last game, right? Laporta had 8 or 9 catches for maybe 90-something yards. Laporta's a little bit of like Kelsey. Obviously, Kelsey, to me, is the greatest tight end ever. I think he'll break all these numbers. And when it's playoff time, when the lights are brightest, I think Shannon Sharp said this about both Mahomes and about both Kelsey, specifically Kelsey. You never seen Kelsey have a bad game when the lights are bad, when bright, right? You never see, oh man, 87 ain't have a game today. He just didn't have it. He always shows up when the lights are the brightest, and I think that's no different here. And I think that's going to be a focal point for them to stop him. I believe he had 4 or 5 catches and 80-something yards last time they were in the Super Bowl versus the Niners. I would have to double check that. But going back to the original bet, I do like Rashee Rice over 6.5. I think there's some value here. I think he might actually really have a good game because he's going to be the number 2, and they're going to blanket Kelsey as best they can to force somebody else to beat them. And I think Rashee Rice is going to be that option. I like him over 6.5. And then I actually like his alternate receiving yards as well. I can see him getting close to maybe like 80 yards in this game. I think he really is slightly a dark horse for MVP, to be honest with you. It's been a while since we had a receiver for an MVP. And I think he's a dark horse for an MVP. He could have an Edelman type game, like, 9 or 10 catches, 140-something yards, right? Maybe a touch here and there. The narrative would be Kelsey, right? Because Taylor Swift won Album of the Year or whatever from a Grammy. So it makes sense to kind of them keep playing that, but I think there hasn't been a back-to-back quarterback MVP since Terry Bradshaw. So the odds are against Mahomes, even though it makes sense that it would be Mahomes. But I think if I'm going with my MVP lean, I think Rashee Rice has to have a good game. I like him over 80. I like him even to touch 100 possibly. I like him over 6.5 catches. I think Rashee Rice has a big game. So that is actually going to be a bet of mine over 6.5. And I know we talked about playing a little bit of gambling here. I'm gambling here. I'm going to go Rashee Rice over 100 yards for plus 300.
Dang. Go ahead, Sharp.
Every year,
Unless you ain't got much to talk about this one.
Every year, there's always somebody who shows up.
You're asking me about what prop I like a dark horse? Receptions. It's juiced, but Travis Kelce will definitely get 7 receptions.
For sure.
If you're looking for value, I would say the best value out there is there's a couple props. Total players with a reception over 13.5 plays 145.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's
kind of low too.
Chiefs like to throw it to 7 or 8 guys every week. Niners like to throw it to 7 or 8 guys every week. As long as there's not a bunch of drops, that there should be 14 or 15 guys catching the ball there. And then I think Deebo Samuel at 20-1 is the only MVP bet to make. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game. If the Niners win it, I think it's probably because Deebo has a good receiving game and has a big run. And if that's the case and he scores 2 touchdowns and one of them's a game-breaking run, he probably wins MVP. So 20-1, that's who I'd be putting money on. Again, these aren't really bets. This isn't how I bet, but if I'm a listener out there that does like to sprinkle money on this is what I see Sharp would be recommending. I would be, if I'm going for a receptions prop, I actually like the over on both teams to have total receptions, and you get almost 1.5 to 1 on your money there. You just need 14 guys for a reception. And then, like I said, I like Deebo to be Super Bowl MVP, dark horse.
And that's the great thing about the Super Bowl. There's so many different opinions about it. Different places where we would play, like you said, Sharp. You typically don't go this wide in terms of your betting perspective, but I think it's good just to give, like, if I am playing this is where I'm looking at, and this is where I'm leaning. Diddy, thoughts on
Yeah.
anything from a receiving standpoint?
I mean, with Sharp, just quickly, I think that Debo value, that money there for that possibility for MVP is great. I think you said, like, if the Niners are going to win, I mean, I think Debo's going to have at least 10 to 12 touches, period. So at that point, that's whether
sure.
it's receiving, running, rushing, and kick returning. I think or punt returning. He'll be on all those levels for this game. So I think that possibility is there. The value's there, and you can see that avenue of that happening. Most likely, it's not going to go to Brock Purdy, because I'm sure he's going to be probably managing the game more than anything else. And that's not a knock on Brock Purdy. I don't think he's going to be the reason why they're winning the game. And there'll be more electrical plays within the game that probably like a Debo Samuels would be able to take multiple touchdowns, a rush, or receiving, something like that. But I do like Rashee Rice. Like I said, I've been on the Rashee Rice since probably week 2. And I start seeing him kind of getting into the system with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's their ultimate utility guy. So for me, it's Rashee Rice over 6.5 receptions. I'm more on Rashee Rice getting over the 6.5 than I am with Travis Kelce. I know the idea of everything this year is about Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, and blah, 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 blah. I'm going against that. I'm not saying Travis Kelce is not going to have a good game. I'm not saying he's not going to score a touchdown. I just think that I think the Niners and those linebackers have seen Travis Kelce. Kyle Shanahan has been in this situation before against him just a few years ago, and they know how important Travis Kelce is to this offense. I think if I was a defensive coordinator, my number one job will be slowing down Travis Kelce. Is he an all-time great? Is he the greatest tight end of all time? He is. 7 receptions, I think, is a little high. He didn't have 7 last time they played. I don't think he's going to have 7 this year.
Yeah, but that was DeMeco Ryans. The Niners defense has taken a major step back at the coordinator position this year. Major. I mean, it's night and day.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think
that's not debatable. That's not debatable.
I don't think they
doesn't lie. DeMeco Ryans was such a better coordinator than their current defensive coordinator. And the Achilles heel of the Niners this year is their defense. Their defense is not good. They're actually an offensive-driven team. They're not a defensive-driven team. That's not debatable either. Like, the tape doesn't lie. The Niners don't win on defense. The Niners win on offense. That's not arguable.
So I'm going to stick to my point as far as I don't think Travis Kelce gets over 7 receptions.
Oh, he's definitely going.
I think the defense has looked.
It's not even possible he goes under 7 unless he gets hurt.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Diddy.
It's just not.
I got you, Sharp. Go ahead, Diddy.
Okay. No, that's it. That's all. I said what I had to say.
Okay.
I was just thinking, because you guys got to remember, like I don't like taking shit that's juiced minus 160. That's why I can't be like, hey, you need to bet Travis Kelce. But like, if you like free money, Travis Kelce is going over 7 receptions unless he gets hurt. Like, it's not. I'm not even trying to say like it's even arguable. Like, it's really not. Like, he's
I agree with you, Sharp.
He'll probably have 9 or 10 receptions, to be honest with
you. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Sharp. I think Diddy looks at it a little bit differently. And I'm basing it not just off, coordinators and tapes. I'm basing it off players that are similar in skill set to Kelce and what they've done, right? Like last game, Laporta had 97 yards and 9 catches. When they faced Arizona and McBride had 10 catches and over 102 yards.
Niners'
so
secondary is not good.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're that good.
No, they're not good.
And
they're
below average. Yeah, and like I said, I think it is an easy bet to make. I just can't lay to minus 166. Yeah, I agree with you. So, I mean,
I just don't like saying that Kelce's going to get taken out of this game. Like, to me, Rice might still hit his props, but I think that's just because Mahomes might light up that secondary like a Christmas tree. And I could see Kelce and Rice both going for 100+ yards.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the rushing. We got CMC pretty much versus Isaiah Pacheco. You guys already know where I'm at on Pacheco. I already have the future bet. I actually double dipped there when it was at 64.5. I got to check my bet. I have him over 64.5 rushing yards. There's nobody else. I know McKinnon got called back up, but I don't think he's going to play. I don't know if he's even practiced. I think last I saw, Andy Reid said we'll see. But they're going to give the ball to Isaiah Pacheco. And what we saw last game and a couple of the other games, this San Francisco 49ers team is lazy. I mean, they got called out by their head coach. They got called out by Wilkes. It was bad. They shouldn't have won that Detroit game, to be honest. They shouldn't have. They stormed back. They had some magic of their own right there. They were down 24-10, and it looked like Detroit was about to be, if everything went the way we thought it was going to go, well, at least the way the majority of thought it was going, I'm gonna tell you this, it was gonna be a black ass Super Bowl, right? Detroit and Baltimore was gonna tear up Vegas. I'll tell you that right now. But it didn't happen like that. So I'm on Pacheco here already on the over. I think he gets loose a little bit here. CMC might be just automatic just because of his usage. The offense runs through CMC, in my opinion. I think CMC has a good game. To be honest, I like him for some anytime touchdown plays, and we'll get to that. But as of right now, for me, I'm already on Pacheco. And I already have Pacheco twice in terms of betting. So I don't have anything other bet. I'll probably leave Debo, as you guys say. I think if anybody kind of gets loose as well, like you said, for the MVP pick would be a Debo play, but I don't have any other plays here. I think the top 5 bets, and out of the top 5 bets, I think Pacheco's up there, and I think actually Brock Purdy's number is up there too as one of the top 5 rushing props bet. But I don't know if you guys have anything on this bet, anything special or not on this bet. Let me know if you guys got anything.
Yeah, the only thing I got on CMC is his total rushing attempts. I think it's 18.5. I'll smack that over 18.5. I think he gets 19 to 20 carries and touches. I'm going to smack the juice there. That's just going to tell me history that Christian McCaffrey is going to carry this team if they're going to carry him to a victory. For me, I think this game is going to be tight anyway. I don't think it's going to get out of hand where it's going to have to force the Niners to somehow pass the ball more than ever. And even last week when they played, or a week ago, when they played the Detroit Lions and they were getting smacked 17-0 or down 17 points, Christian still had damn near 20 carries. So they're not going away from the run game. That's telling me that, and they're not going to put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands to lead a comeback. They're going to stick to their guns and take and hopefully for an opportunity defensively, a turnover, and they're going to stick to their guns with Christian McCaffrey. So give me over 18.5. I'll lay the juice at 140. They're going to keep the game plan and the blueprint. And I don't think Kansas City is explosive enough to get that opportunity where they're going to be separating from the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think they have the team to do that. I love Patrick Mahomes. You want to circle 3 players in that offense. That's going to be Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce, and Rashee Rice. That's it. It's not like any other teams that they've played. So give me Christian McCaffrey over 18.5. I think the game stays tight, and they're going to stick to their game plan. Christian McCaffrey getting over his carries.
Sharp, anything from a rushing standpoint, or should we move on? I feel like you might have something defensively. You like the sack prop.
Yeah, actually, defensive. I don't. The only thing, like I said, my only bet is the under in the game. So that is, I'm already leaning both defenses. So I think that'll be the case.
Okay.
What I will say is the one thing that the Niners have going for them in this game, matchup wise, that kind of does help with what Diddy's going. Now, again, I'm not laying the -140 on a CMC attempts prop because we're one injury away. If I was going to lay the 160 juice, I would just take Kelce because I think he's more proven than CMC in big moments. That's just how I personally feel. And I trust Andy Reid to scheme him open more than I trust Kyle Shanahan to scheme Christian McCaffrey open. But I do think that the Niners can get down 14 points. They've proven it before, right? They'll get down 14 points and run. They're not going to get out of character. They're not like other teams. They are built to run. That is the identity of their play caller, is run first, and everything goes off that. So they're not going to panic down 14 and kind of abandon their run like the Ravens did. So I do think that, no matter how the game flow goes, even if Kansas City comes out hot, which I do expect, I don't think the Ravens will abandon the run. I don't think the Niners will abandon the run. So, yeah, CMC should have a monster game here. I mean, I've said it all year. The Chiefs they're not a good run-stopping team, right? Their best defensive tackle is a single gap penetrator. I like Chris Jones. He doesn't move people as much as he tries to shoot gaps and force you to stop his penetration, right? That's not really a defensive tackle that dominates the run. A defensive tackle that dominates the run plugs up one person and controls them and moves that person into either gap so that the running back can't go to either a gap. That's how you dominate. That's how a single defensive tackle stops two running lanes, is by controlling a person. That's not Chris Jones. So I do think Christian McCaffrey should – I think that zone running scheme should be there, especially with Debo screaming off the backside where that weak side linebacker has to respect that.
Yeah, no, I think both of your points are valid. Maybe even longest Russ, 17.5 seems criminally low for CMC. I can see him getting loose.
Absolutely. His own blocking scheme versus that, I agree.
Yeah, I think that would be something that I would look at. But I think targeting CMC in this game is obviously a smart choice. All right, let's go to the touchdowns.
Can we go back real quick? I did miss a few that I had written down. Sorry about that.
The Clyde Edwards-Helaire one stood out to me as just a boomer bust. I mean, the guy sometimes gets 1 carries in the game. Sometimes the guy gets 7 carries in a game. When you go look at their box scores, it's at 6.5. I mean, that would be – you would just have to rely on him getting that 4 to 5 carries. So that would be one that's a little interesting and stood out to me.
Yeah, go ahead, Diddy.
MVS receiving yards, I want to go under there. I want to say it's like 20 and a half. He barely got there last week at that one last play of the game. I don't see that happening again. I don't think he'd be part of the game plan too much. If anything, maybe Juwan. I mean, if you want to look at somebody on the secondary levels receivers, you might want to look at like a Juwan Jennings over possibly. But I just my lean is going to be on MVS is under here. I got that checked off, and I do have Kittle's over largest reception. I think Kittle has that one big reception that kind of gives him
longest reception.
Longest reception. So whenever we get to that spot, that'll be one of my my plays.
Kittle 20.5.
Yep, I know it's about 20. And I have that circled as Kittle having one of the largest.
What's his he's probably got good value to have the longest play in the game.
That's a
longest
good play.
Reception is plus 500.
There you go, 5 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah,
not bad.
I mean that's tricky only because you got the Debo opportunity there. Obviously,
Debo's big play could be a run.
Could be a run, but it could be a screen too. He can take to the house.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you get those there. That's why I just like over the 20. I think it's one little deep post route or little corner route goes to Kittle's, kind of get the drive started, and that's kind of where I'm going with too. That's one of my plays. Kittle's over reception, longest reception, 20 yards.
I'm looking at this because you guys brought it up. Player with longest reception. Yeah, Kittle's pretty good value at 50 to 1. He does tend to get loose.
I mean, shit, you can go against what I just said and go MVS. I mean, he's the only one that's taking the deep threat. Really, he's their long threat option. Is he going to catch the ball?
Who's got the balls to throw Kadarius Toney on there? 75.
He's not playing. Kadarius Toney will not be playing on Sunday. I think he's.
I think Elijah Mitchell might be a flyer.
He would have to he'd have to crease a run.
Yeah, he would just crease a run like you're spelling, CMC. Maybe that calf tightens up, right? That calf tightens up. And Elijah Mitchell gets in. Well, actually, no, this is reception. I'm thinking rushing. My bad.
No, that's what I mean. You'd have to get a screen, and then he just creases it after that, like everything's blocked. And
never mind. Bad.
I think the best. I'm saying the best value is at plus 1,000. That's MVS going against what I said under 20 yards. But
I think Kittle too.
He catches the bomb.
He catches the bomb. He's there.
Yeah, I think your Kittle plays smart, right? You could see Kittle breaking some tackles, getting loose in the secondary.
Yeah.
There for like 30, 40 yards. He's tough to get down. So
the only thing with
if
Kittle,
I was betting this one, I would be looking at
3 to 4
Kittle.
receptions though. Kittle's only going to give you 3 to 4, so at least one of the 3 to 4.
Yeah, but he's top 5. He's top 5 in the NFL in
the long
yards after contact.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Kittle 5 to 1 is a decent is worth a flyer. Good catch with that. I wasn't even looking at that. All right, so we did rushing. Let's go quickly to tight ends. I mean, sorry, to touchdowns. And the one thing that I was looking at this that I kind of liked, and we talked about CMC. I do think Christian McCaffrey scores 2 touchdowns in this game. I just do.
Yeah, the only way you can play Chris McCaffrey is multiple scores. It's the only way.
Yeah, it's the only way.
Well,
I like him.
I wouldn't say that.
Plus 242, but I
How else
also
do you play it? Sure.
I think you could take him plus 380 to be the first TD scorer. Niners get the ball first, come down and score. He's the first one to score. That's plus 380.
I like this one though. I like the plus 450
if he's
for him to score in both halves.
Yeah,
score in the first half and the second
I'm just
half.
saying there's a couple. I'm just saying I agree with what Diddy's saying. Like, don't take the normal negative
of course
value.
not. Yeah,
you'd have to look for some alternative touchdown prop.
So this one I'm thinking about touching. Christian McCaffrey to score in both halves.
No.
When y'all both disagree with me, it makes me want to bet it because I think we've been around this circle a couple times when you both disagree with me, and I think I've won that a couple more times than I've lost it.
Because I don't know if you need to do that. You can just go 2 plus touchdowns. You're getting 2.5. Like why would I gamble that? It's not, like look at it. What's your 2 plus touchdowns? You're getting plus 245.
It's plus 245. It's a little bit more. It's a 4.5 to 1. It's a decent.
Yeah, but just take that and just put 200 on it. Just put 2 units.
Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
If it was like plus 800, plus 1,000, something like that, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it would never be like that.
But I tell you what, I also like there's some TD exactas. Again, I don't bet these, but
these are just fun. We're talking
pretty good value on a TD exacta. CMC's the first TD scorer. Travis Kelce's the second TD scorer. So basically, both offenses get the ball, touchdown, answer touchdown. Those are 2 guys that score a ton of touchdowns. You're getting 22 to 1 that they both score. Again, if you're just looking for scratch offs, I mean, you could win like a quick 11 units on a half unit bet. I mean, that could settle in the first quarter. So those are little things I look for. I don't know. That's just something that stood out to me too. 2 good players, and if they score first, bam, 22 to 1.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Diddy?
Oh no. I mean, like I said, there's so much you can bet on, man. It's just you just gotta really kind of just don't go too crazy because you get up on the negative side. You put too much action out there. So I
agree. Decide what your budget is. Anyone out there, like, come up with a Super Bowl budget, whether you small, big, and then stick to that. Like, go with scratch offs or go with one bet that you like the most, but don't go crazy on Super Bowl. That's my advice. It's all
gonna look good, and it's kind of like we were talking about with Nate. Nate saying, "Hey, well, look, it's plus 4 something for Chris McCaffrey to score in both halves." I mean, could he do that? Yeah, but it's more likely for him to get 2 touchdowns than him to actually score in the first half and the second half. And you're still getting plus value on that. And it comes down to the value. So for me, I think it's a good play, but I think you have a better play at the 2 scores versus the 1 half and then 1 in each half. There is a play where though both teams score a touchdown in both halves. That is a play that's available. And that's been available all year. That's a play I usually go with, especially with teams I know that can put the ball in the box. I only fear about the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half. They are not a good second half team. History says that. So I'm not going anything with near KC in the second half. That's the only reason I won't make that play. But if you feel confident that KC scores a touchdown in both halves, and the Niners will score a touchdown in both halves, which can happen, it's a good value on that too.
I will say the one thing about the Super Bowl, remember 30-minute halftime. You give Andy Reid 30 minutes halftime. If he's getting that ball to start the second half, he's going to script some shit on you. I'll guarantee that right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So we went through a lot of the props here. Make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe, hitting the like button, dropping comments, letting us know what you think about our picks and plays. Let's go to a little bit more Diddy the kind of more your side. I didn't even really look at this one. Team totals.
Team totals. Yeah, I didn't. Give me one thing because I had an anytime touchdown, Nate, and it was going to be Rice anytime touchdown. Sorry about that. I know you'll move forward. I had Rice anytime touchdown.
Like it.
And then I think to Sharp's point, I think Travis Kelce's KC's first touchdown is a probably good high probability. I think that'd be great value. I want to say in each Super Bowl he scored a touchdown. He was the first touchdown scorer for KC when they won the
Yeah,
Super
I mean, when they get in the red zone, they script their
He's
first
it.
drive out. When they get in the red zone, he's their scripted option, and
Right.
Andy's scripted plays usually work. So
Yeah. So I like Rice's anytime touchdown here with good value.
Yeah, I like Rice anytime touchdown.
I think Noah Gray's got some value. These are the kind of games where Andy loves doing 12 and 13 personnel in the red zone and slipping some tight end out wide open. He loves doing that stuff.
I think that makes sense.
Definitely going to be a
Let's see
trick
that.
play somewhere in here. Somebody's going to be
Blake
creative there.
Bell's, they're blocking tight. He gets slipped out. That's a guy.
Noah Gray 9-1. Wow.
Yeah. He's their
That's good
blocking tight end. It's really easy to everyone lock in on Kelsey. Then they slip him out wide open. That happens a lot. So, I mean,
I like
those are
that
things I
Noah
look
Gray
for.
pick. I really do. I think he's got, 4 or 5 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Oh, he's only got 2.
He does.
My
I
bad.
mean, this
My
is
bad.
when
He's
they
only got
use
2.
him. Red zone. Everyone's expecting it to go somewhere else, and then he just slips out.
Oh, you know who it was? It's Watson. I'm thinking about the other one. It's Watson.
Justin Watson's
Watson
the
has
same
3.
way. He's pretty good. They'll
Yeah.
use him as a blocking receiver, and then he'll slip out.
All right. So, going back to what I was saying, well, let's look at the team prompts here, meaning team totals, team touchdowns. They have the bands for DraftKings that didn't really do us well when we first saw them in the beginning. We were pretty excited. First half,
Something new.
First half team totals, exact team totals. I typically don't really have anything on these. I mean, the last time these teams played, even though they're defensively different, it was 31-20, if I'm not mistaken, in that Super Bowl. I just think I call it matchup proof. I just think that Andy and Pat together, like we're seeing Brady, right? We're seeing Brady, Belichick, and Gronk. That's what we're seeing. It's just this version of with Andy, Mahomes, and Kelsey. It's their time. So I don't think and I think Sharp already kind of said it, that the Niners defense is leaky. They have holes. They have issues. They haven't had a sack. Well, no, Bosa had 2 sacks, but outside of him, really nothing other pressure from anybody else. The secondary soft. And then they just got caught up by how soft they were. And there was a little bit of reports that Chase Young might not even play because of how lackadaisical he's been from a defensive side of the ball. Now, I think that they understand the moment, and I think they understand what's in front of them to in this game. So I would lean over here in the Kansas City team total. I just don't know how Brock Purdy's going to perform when the lights are brightest. And we've seen him show up small in big moments before. So I just don't know. I don't trust that. I trust Pat Mahomes. I trust Andy Reid. I would lean over. I think they score a little bit of points in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they got to 30. Like, it really wouldn't. It's at 30.5. But I think the line's pretty sharp at 23.5. I would lean over. I think they score more than 24 points. I just do.
And this is for who?
That's KC.
KC.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't know how this game is going to go. I won't be surprised if it's a 17-10 game or it'd be like you said, 35-31 game. I think it can go either way. It just depends on what's happening here. So I don't have no play on the total for either team, not even on the total of the game. If I was a lean, I'd be on Sharp's way as far as probably the under. But that's a very light lean because, like I said, this can go either way. San Fran for me, like I said, they played the Kansas City Chiefs in the same situation not that long ago. I know the teams are different, but there's a lot of pieces of that puzzle that are the same. And the key pieces of that defense for the 49ers were in the Super Bowl a year ago. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans was the DC. Understood. I always look at the player perspective. I mean, Fred Warner and Greenlaw, they were there. So, they'll be prepared. They'll know what they need to do as far as preparation and within the game and the big game. So, with that being said, total wise, I can't call it.
They're also going to be relying on a rookie safety. Remember, Jair Brown's replacing Hufanga as their matchup safety. I just got to imagine Jair Brown's head's going to be spinning versus Travis Kelce, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Let's keep it moving. So we're going to go to the Super Bowl specials. And I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it because it's here and I saw it. For the Swifties. This is for the Swifties out there.
Is it really a
don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. There are men out there who are for the Swifties. Best believe it. So, with that being said, we're going to go through the list, and I'm assuming I ain't never heard I probably heard a Taylor Swift song and didn't even know it was Taylor Swift. But it looks like the songs are the bets. So 22, any quarter to have 22 points scored? Probably not. Brock Purdy to have 250 passing yards and two passing touchdown anti-hero. Maybe.
Yeah, that's possible.
Blank space, Kelce to score an octopus. I'll go into what the octopus bet is later, but obviously you can see the odds are high. If I'm not mistaken, it's everything, right? Like it's throw, catch, rush. It's just that's be a rare thing. But you said trick play. He might throw one. Wouldn't surprise me.
He got to catch and run, so he's not running the ball.
Yeah.
they don't have a run set for him at all. It's a shuffle pass. It's still a pass.
All right, deja vu. Chiefs to win by exactly 11 points, plus 30, plus 3,000, and that means for you Swifties out there, $100 will win you $3,000. That's what that means. If you don't know what that means, we're going fearless. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. San Francisco to win by Purdy. This would be insane. If you like this bet, that means you have to bet Brock Purdy to be MVP.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Just bet that.
That'd be a double bet. And look, 15. Mahomes to get 15 rushing yards and 215 passing yards. That's minus 140. Probably the closest odds to anything hitting.
Actually, a lock. That might be a lock right there. Let me write that down. Hey.
Oh, look at you with the Swiftie bet.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like a good bet.
Not at minus 140, it isn't.
Is it minus 140?
Yeah.
Minus 140.
Yeah, I thought it was like 115. I'm sorry.
A two-way parlay at minus 140? Hell no. That's a sucker bet right there.
Kelce or Gesicki to score first touchdown plus 600.
What did you just call
him? I said Gesicki, didn't I?
The J is silent.
It's Kyle Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. I'm sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
No, good. No, you got to call me out because my pronunciation is.
We are coming to draft. We are coming to draft season, and there's going to be some O-linemen, the Polynesian O-linemen going early that everyone's going to need.
Don't even ask me, Sharp. I ain't doing it. Niners to score 40 points. Gold rush. No. How do you get the girl Kelce to score a touchdown in each half plus 950? I knew you were trouble. McCaffrey is to rush for over 150 rushing and receiving yards at plus 160.
He getting 200, like I told you, Nate.
He's not getting 200, bro. KC to lead by 14 points, 250. Kelce to have 0 receptions and 49ers to win, plus 3,000. Those odds have got to be higher.
Bro, that should be plus $1 million.
Yeah, right. Like, no way. It looks like it's almost every song in here. This one's not bad. Mine, Kelce to have 87 plus receiving yards, plus 190.
Yeah, I like that one for sure.
There we go. We got a Swiftie bet from Sharp. That ain't bad. That one's ain't bad. Let me see if I can find something else here. Kelce to have 5 rushing yards. He does every once in a while rush the ball. But even that little, that little play where they do a little like the quarterbacks run into the right and they flick it under. That's still a pass. That's not a rush, right?
No, it's a pass. Yeah,
it's a pass. Yeah, that's what I thought. The shovel pass.
The shake it off one's another okay one. I could see that. Niners score first, Chiefs win.
Plus 350.
I mean, I would like better odds than that, but yeah, I could just see that scenario playing out pretty easy.
Look at you getting down with the Swifties. Let me see. Well, I guess Kelce to score a touchdown. This might be me. Kelce to score a touchdown and KC to win, plus 240. Today was a fairy tale.
I mean, dude, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no.
And then Travis is going to go to Disney World with fucking. It's just. I'm not going to get into the
Don't
scripted.
get mad at the Swifties.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I don't hate on anyone like that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think fading anything Travis Kelce this Super Bowl is a really bad idea.
So go back to that.
Oh, look at you. Look. Here we go.
No,
What you got?
I just gotta go back down to that Kelce touchdown. So what is Kelce? I wonder what is Kelce's anytime touchdown
It was pretty high.
on the plus side?
He was, I think, second, maybe behind McCaffrey. I'll go look.
He is minus 110.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty even.
So I see what you're saying. Minus 110. Let's just see if we getting a little bit more, and then KC to win. Oh, I got to do the same game parlay with DraftKings. Where is it? Are they letting you do any same game parlays? Doesn't look like they're letting you do same game parlays.
They're probably just offering it all as
Grouping
one
it
thing
together.
right now.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. I thought it was a little on the plus side, but okay.
No, those odds kind of match out.
Yeah. 2 is better than 1. 2 successful 2-point conversions, 12-1. That ain't bad.
That ain't bad. That's actually that's a good play.
That ain't bad.
It
It ain't bad.
I think in Super Bowls there's been 2-point conversions and probably like almost like
but
70%.
2 successful in a row.
No.
Successful,
Just I think in the game.
2 successful
Just
2-point
successful.
conversions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
2
2
successful.
2-point.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Not in a
Yeah.
row, just 2 successful.
Not in a row. Just 2 in a row. That's not bad. 12-1. I wouldn't
No,
even
it
thought
wasn't
about
bad.
that.
Yeah, I'll put like a nickel, a little small little.
Yeah.
You know.
I shout out a little bit to the Swifties, man. I hope some of the Swifties got some knowledge on how to bet these games, because y'all really gonna just bet whatever y'all favorite song is.
Shake It
just
Off.
'cause.
I would do Shake It Off. And what was the other one I said? Oh, 87.
87
Kelsey
is
over
mine.
87.
So we're just gonna call mine and Shake It Off.
That's what I like.
I like mine, and then I like Today Was a Fairy Tale. Those are my 2. I like it. All right. So every year, there's always the biggest bets of the year before the game even kicks off. Diddy loves some of these bets, from Gatorade, National Anthem, and the coin toss. Now, only certain states get some of those bets. Sharp, I'm not sure. I don't think Tulsa was there yet.
No, it's still
Oklahoma.
legal. It's still legal in Oklahoma. I still got to keep going to Kansas.
Yeah,
Hopefully that changes in November.
The only bet that we can do as of right now is heads or tails. Now, I did a show on this, and I'll link that show up top, of the 3 most popular bets, and those are the 3 most popular bets. And what I said, which was a really interesting take, that the last 8 teams who've won the toss, the Kansas City Chiefs last year was the first one to win the game. Everybody else who won the toss, 7 games before that, lost the game. It's a true 50-50 bet. One of the best 50-50 bets you can ever make.
Mm-hmm.
It's plus 100 each way, heads or tails. I believe tails have hit 3 out of the last 5. But I thought it was really, really interesting that the last 8 games, Chiefs last year was the first team out of the last 8 to win the toss and win the game.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, see, I'm dropping all kinds of information here for y'all.
This is on field turf, though, right?
I don't know. They already bitched about the goddamn field, so it's already.
That means the coin gonna bounce a little bit more on the field turf than it does on the
look
grass.
at you take it.
So if the weight of the coin is a little heavier on the one side than the other side, then it'll bounce more to that favor. So this could be part of the script too. Just keep going with the script idea.
There's a lot of huge big bets always on the coin toss, because, like I said, it is a true 50-50 bet.
Yeah.
They always
casinos
say
won't let you just walk in and be like, "Hey, I want to do 500,000 on a coin toss," but they'll let you do it this week.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's always fun. Tails never fails, as they say. So
that's an overtime. That's an overtime, though. It's in overtime. That's only in overtime.
Oh yeah.
Tails never
Okay.
fails in overtime.
Okay. I got you. All right, we're getting close to the end here of all our picks. We got just the game and MVP. So if you want to stick around to watch who we're talking about for MVP, make sure you hit that subscribe, like all that good stuff. Drop in who you like actually in the comments in this game. I should have said that maybe in early on, but I don't have. I think because we're all bettors that kind of stay to what we do. I don't have any super long shots. I mean, we'll talk about the Super Bowls and stuff like that, but I know there's always like some crazy super bet, but I don't have any. I think I might skip this one, but let me know if you guys have anything. I think we kind of went through all that, like, rushing yards, most rushing yards in the game might be one, most, receptions in the game. Like those are probably things I would probably be looking at. But I don't, most tackles gotta be Fred, right? I don't have one, but let me know if you get what you guys think. Or I can keep it moving.
I didn't look at that, but I do have a special one though, Nate. I do have a special.
Go ahead.
So one special play that I do know is not it's a special. It's kind of like we were just talking about the heads or tails. A special play was the national anthem. So just stuff you just try to do your research on, and you can try to find some background on who that singer is and how long they've done. You can kind of
Reba McEntire,
which is Reba McEntire. She's a little bit up there in age. She's a little up there. She's gonna need all that air that she can get in that moment. I doubt she's gonna rush this national anthem. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on her and her history. But we're gonna look at Reba McEntire national anthem over 90.5 seconds.
I'm going under.
You're gonna go under.
I did a show on this. I did, and I'll link the show again. I did a show on this. She has averaged about 90 seconds in her past. There's a lot of baseball she's done. And back in the 80s.
Singer, man, I love it.
She a lot of, and she's averaged 9. That's crazy. The line is at 90.5. She's averaged 90. She sings somewhat fast compared to some of the other people. I mean, like the greatest performance I think we've ever seen is Whitney Houston, and she did it in 1 minute and 56 seconds. And last year they did it over 2 minutes. So I did some research on it. I would tend to bet the under on her. She does it in about 1 minute and like 28 seconds.
So let's not do any juice. Let's skip that. This week, me and you bet. We just bet what we're going to bet on it. If you're betting it.
Oh shit! Damn,
we'll save the juice.
Oh yeah.
We'll save the juice. I'm going over for the old lady.
You going over? You think she's going to hit
over
that
90.5? I think she just takes her time and takes it all in, and she enjoys herself. So that's my only special play that I have.
Okay, and just remember, it starts when she actually starts singing, not when the music sings. Like there's all kinds of shit to look at this.
Yeah, and it's one bet that I always bet because I've learned my lesson because it's a bet I missed back when I was probably when it was the Denver-Seattle game, and it was the first score to be a safety or other. I always do it now. I lost an opportunity to win a lot of money, and I was close to plugging it in. I fell asleep before the Super Bowl.
Oh shit!
And I missed the pre-prop opportunities because I was looking over it around 12 o'clock. Took a nap. And then little did you know, that first play was a goddamn safety, and I almost wanted to blow my head off. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I was in the casino when that hit, and I remember everybody going fucking nuts because I was playing poker, and everybody was going nuts because they were like, "Holy shit, like, word!" And the route was on from then on too.
Yep.
So, all right, but we made it to the end here. Let's talk about the game itself. I think you guys have already kind of gave your side, but let's just rehash it. Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are favorite -2. Total is 47.5. Money line is -122. I already said before for myself, I have a 7-1 play on the Chiefs. And I've given multiple reasons of why I think the Chiefs are going to win. I've said of how whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, whether it be organizational, coaching, Mahomes, it just all works for the Kansas City Chiefs. We are in the Chiefs era. at this moment. 3 Super Bowls in the last 4 years, 2 of them winning. I don't think that stops here. I have money already on the Chiefs to win at 7-1. I'm really, really thinking about just adding more, not even hedging, and going full blown KC and putting money on the money line to KC and for the Chiefs to get number 3. I have a real hard time seeing Shanahan beat Andy Reid. By the way, Andy Reid has not lost to Shanahan as of yet. 3 games to nil. And the fact that they had to talk to their guys this late in the game about how to step up on defense, this team isn't ready. Brock Purdy's going to shrivel in the big lights. Casey's been here plenty of times before. And they're the villain, right? They love that being the villain, right? It gets the Kansas City Chiefs going. If this is a home game, the Niners don't have anything offensively for them they haven't seen before. Give me the Chiefs. I'm going money line, adding more to it. Give me 5 units on the Chiefs money line. I'm going down with Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. If I go down, I'm going down. Give me the Chiefs. I'm sorry, Brock Purdy. I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan. You just born at the wrong time in the wrong era.
Well, go ahead, Sharp. You said all you got is the
He's
total,
on the
right?
under.
So you don't have
Yeah.
anything about the game. I think you said you lean the Niners, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really in terms of the game, I feel like it's the same as I feel like it's really similar setup to the Super Bowl last year. If San Francisco plays clean, meaning keeps the penalties really to a limited, no turnovers, they probably win the game. If any of those things, special teams play clean, can't afford a shanked punt, big return, can't afford a missed field goal. Like, you have to play clean to beat the Chiefs. Like, it's crazy as it sounds. The Chiefs and Kansas City and Andy Reid have kind of mirrored the early New England, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady with Mahomes, where like Mahomes is actually a game manager. Like, he doesn't do anything on 3rd and long, maybe 2 plays a game. He does something spectacular. He did it versus the Ravens. He made a couple throws to Travis Kelce on 3rd down where it was like, and 4th down where it was like, my gosh, he put it into a keyhole and only Travis makes that catch. He does do that stuff. But like, is Mahomes throwing for 350 and beating you like that anymore? No, those days are done. Kelsey's not there. Tyreek Hill's not there to take the defense off. And Mahomes has gotten better. Like, when Mahomes was reckless, pushing the ball down the field, and everyone loved that Patrick Mahomes, he actually put the ball in harm's way more often than not. And when he just learned to check the ball down and run and not turn the ball over, the team actually has done better. So he's learned what Tom Brady learned. You sacrifice individual success for team success. And he's mastered that. And that's coaching. Coaching gets that into your head over time. Quarterbacks come in as thoroughbreds. It's coach's job to break them. And Andy Reid has officially broken Mahomes. And Mahomes is just a trained thoroughbred that can be walked through the arena and told exactly what to do, and he does it. And I just don't think that Brock Purdy is in a position in his career where he's going to be able to handle the moment. I think at some point in this game, just like Jalen Hurts did, he's going to flinch. And he's going to put the ball in harm's way, whether he fumbles. Remember, Hurts played amazing last year. And out of nowhere, he just dropped the ball off his knee. Like, no one touched him. No one blitzed him. He was untouched. He gave the ball to the Chiefs. That's just nervous. That's just like, oh my gosh, I'm up 14 on Kansas City. Like, I'm going to win a Super Bowl. And then you let it fall through your fingers. And I just think in this moment, that's going to happen to Brock Purdy. I don't know when it is. Could be the first quarter, could be the second quarter, could be the fourth quarter. He's going to flinch. Mahomes will not flinch. Kansas City's going to win.
Diddy.
Yo, yeah. I'm on the other side of that. There's not many teams that's won back-to-back championships. Kansas City's not one of those. It hasn't been back since what was it? Dallas? Am I right? Since
What,
90?
back-to-back championship?
Yeah, it's Dallas, right? We all
Uh,
know how
yeah.
long that was. We all know how long that was. But if anybody can do it, I would say it'll be this.
Or
Kansas
New
City
England
Chiefs.
didn't do it, right? Or did New England do
I
it?
don't think New England won back-to-back. No.
I think they did.
I'll
All right, go ahead.
I'll let you guys know. But go ahead.
Or it could be. Maybe it was the earlier.
Yeah, I think it was the early.
Okay. So for me, it's if anybody can do it, it'll be Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But I think the world wants Kansas City to win this. Not the world, but those that it's just too many things going on. You got the Taylor Swift stuff. You got the Chiefs coming back. You got now the Chiefs, like quote unquote, like you said, the villains.
New England in 04,
And
05.
That's what I thought. The
Yeah.
early,
So
and
yeah,
that's
and
this,
then-
and this Chiefs team reminds me of those early New England
Mhm.
team. Whatever it takes to win, not QB driven. It's team driven. Just whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just think that, but this team the Niners are playing, I just think they're so balanced offensively. I think they're going to cause problems for Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're able to run the football. I think they're going to stick to their guns. Kyle Shanahan has been here before. We're not talking about a team that has not been here. I know there's changes, but the key pieces, like I said, for San Francisco 49ers are still there. Brock Purdy's not asked to be anybody more than who he is. Everybody knows he has nothing to lose here. Is it a big moment? Absolutely. It's a big moment for everybody. I disagree with Sharp on the fact with Jalen Hurts. I don't think the moment was too big for him. Is the reason why he fumbled the ball. But at the same time, I think for Brock Purdy, his team protects him as long as he can just deliver what they need him to deliver, and they're not asking a lot from him. So with that being said, I think more things need to go for Kansas City to be able to, the ball will have to fall in Kansas City's favor a little bit more than it does in the San Francisco 49ers. And I think they had this extra week off to kind of prepare, reset, get their mind ready. I think they'll be prepared. I think it'll be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going to call it 24-20.
Giving out scores.
Yeah, 24-20, 49ers. I do have a play here. I'm going first quarter over 9.5. I think it slows down after that. And then I think we're going to go second half. I told you that last week. My first bet officially for the game was Niners in the second half, -0.5. I got that number as -0.5. Like I said every week, Kansas City is not a good second half team. I think the Niners have shown you they are a good second half team. Whatever they bust out that rut, whatever they're in that first half, they come back over these last few weeks and shown they can come out in the second half and dominate. And I have Chiefs over field goals 1.5. So that's my two plays. And I have, of course, my field goal over 48 yards. They're in the dome. I like the field goal over 48.5. So those are my game plays.
Let me ask you this, because you said something about Purdy, his game manager and stuff like this. In this game, do you think the 49ers can beat the Chiefs without Brock Purdy playing well?
I don't think Brock
like if
Purdy
we
has
get Detroit Lions Brock Purdy, you think that's going enough to beat the Chiefs?
I mean, I don't really know. Brock Purdy had a bad game against the Detroit Lions, to tell you honestly. I think Brock Purdy's the reason why they actually came back and won that game. He used his legs and was able to kind of scramble, and he said, "Ball to the wall. I'm gonna go get it." I mean, if you look at what he did in the second half, it was pretty much Brock Purdy's legs and him making some accurate throws at that point. Don't forget there were opportunity there, but I think if you get the Brock Purdy from the Ravens game, they're not going to have a chance. You can't turn the ball over, 3 times? I think he did. He had 3 interceptions against the
4.
Ravens at home. Yeah, I mean, if you get that Brock Purdy,
that was like early in the year, though.
Well, I mean, it was second half of the year. They only,
December.
Week 14.
It was inclement. It was inclement weather.
Christmas.
Debo wasn't playing. There was a lot of issues going on. It's not going to be inclement weather, so
it's not going to be inclement. We don't have that. But if he plays that type of game, then yeah, I don't think Brock has to have a great game. I think he just has to manage the game. His team is good enough. The O-line is good enough. The run game is good enough. Debo Samuel is a utility weapon. He's good enough to kind of just continue to move that offense. They like long drives. Their defense, yes, not that great, but they haven't been breaking. Unfortunately, over these last few weeks, they have been letting up scores, but they've usually been but not break. Kind of remind me, like you said, the Eagles that Eagles game. They bend but didn't break. So for me, we'll see what happens here. I just think it's going to be a close game. Give me the Niners. I don't think it's a Brock Purdy anything. To be honest with you.
I completely disagree with that because I think to beat Casey and Andy Reid, you have to get stellar quarterback play. Teams are not like it has to be something special for them to lose, especially on the biggest stage of them all.
But
right?
Let me ask you a question, Nate. What does Brock Purdy have to do? What's he have to do to what do you think he has to do?
He can't have any turnovers.
He can't. Well, he can't have any turnovers, and we all know that. It's just, that's just football, right?
If someone comes clean, he can't let the ball hit the ground. If Jones ragdolls him, he can't let the ball go.
So Sharp, he can't hurt them. That's what I'm saying.
He can't miss Kittle streaking wide open.
That's what I was about to say. He can't miss plays.
Okay.
He can't miss plays. He has to hit guys. He has to make the right play at the right time. He cannot miss plays. There's no like, oh, darn it, we missed that. We'll come back again. No, he's got to make the right play at the right time.
He has to play clean, though. He has to play clean.
Right, which is what he's been doing. So, I mean,
I don't agree. I think he put the ball in harm's way quite a bit versus Detroit and got lucky. He will not get away.
They got lucky in Detroit. I think they got lucky in Detroit. And then you got the other side of the ball where Campbell was an idiot.
Because I'll tell you right now, when Andy Reid calls a fourth down play and they scheme up someone wide open, that player's not dropping that pass, and they're going to catch that fourth down ball, and then the Niners are going to be behind.
We can always. It's always a different side to a coin.
No, I'm just telling you,
the Ravens should have won that game. But we're going to say that the Ravens should have won the game.
Are not going to screw.
The Ravens should have won the games against the Chiefs.
If they had 2 touchdowns dropped, what are we talking about? They turned the ball over twice in the end zone in the second half. Kansas City did not score in the second half. It was 17-0, 17-7 at halftime.
Baltimore only scored 3 points in the second half.
But they turned the ball over going into the end zone twice.
Yeah.
Like if you want to say the coin's on the other side with Detroit, it's the same thing with the Ravens versus the Chiefs. The Ravens turned the ball over going into the end zone. That's 14 points. That puts them above and up in the game.
Did he? Do you realize that's how the Chiefs have been winning for 2 seasons?
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying on the flip. If we're talking about the flip side, you just told me everything that Brock Purdy can't do.
No, I didn't.
Right? That's what Nate said. You just told me he can't turn the ball over.
Look,
he can't do this.
It's pretty simple how you beat the Chiefs. You need to have less penalties. You need to beat them in special teams, and you got to have 0 turnovers. You fail at any one of those 3 objectives, you're probably losing to them. It's just that simple. They're not going to lose in any one of those 3 facets. They're not turning the ball over. The only way that you're going to get Mahomes to turn the ball over will be a Nick Bosa special play, like just destroys the right tackle. Mahomes isn't ready, and he obliterates him, and the ball comes flying. I could see that happen. Nick Bosa is a game changer. He could single-handedly dismantle a drive.
I was saying about the different side of the coin about what you guys talked about. Detroit should have won that game. That's all I was saying. And that Brock Purdy did not play well because he put the ball in harm's way.
But who do you think has a more propensity to beat themselves? Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, or Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? In a vacuum, who's more likely to screw things up?
I mean, you have a younger quarterback in this moment, of course. Yeah.
So who's more likely to flinch in this moment?
But I don't think what I'm saying, back to my point, I don't think Brock Purdy is going to don't need to be anybody but what he's been. That's
right.
All
he just can't flinch, and I think it's more likely than not he flinches.
However, I don't believe the flinching stuff.
Well,
whatever
you saw Jalen Hurts flinch.
Because he ran and he fumbled the ball.
Yes, that's nervous. That's being nervous.
That's making a mistake. He's not.
But hold on, we don't even know, right? We're guessing. We're guessing what we think.
Brock Purdy cannot afford to make a single mistake.
Yeah, he can't make a mistake. I agree with that. He can't make a mistake.
He's got to walk the tightrope for 4 quarters.
Yeah,
and that's the pressure I will put on Brock Purdy.
But Diddy's on the other side of that. That's cool. That's cool. You don't think he needs to? That's cool.
Jalen Hurts, and he couldn't do it.
That's cool. MVP. So MVP, I think is for me would be a little bit. I think kind of. I would look at some long shots. I think 20-1 for you guys. Said Debo. I think that's a decent bet. Obviously, if you like if you like Debo, then you obviously like the Niners. But I don't. And I know Mahomes has won the MVP twice, if I'm not mistaken. And no quarterback has won it back to back, like I said before, since Terry Bradshaw. So my pick is going the other way. I think Kelsey's going to be a popular pick, but I'm going with somebody else. I'm going with Rashid Rice. I think Rashid Rice can easily have 8 catches, 90-something yards, and a touch or two. 50-1. It's a roll of the dice. It's a gamble. I'm not saying that this is going to hit, right? That's why it's 50-1, right? So, I mean, sorry. Yeah, 50-1. No, 500-1. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. 50-1. My bad. 50-1. Yeah. So, that's my MVP dark horse pick for this game. Diddy,
Yeah,
are
I
you
like
still
what
on
Sharp
the
said.
Debo?
I think Debo's the best value. I mean, I think Debo's going to get the touches first off. So all we need is the Niners to win, and Debo's going to get his touches. Most likely, if he gets in the end zone, which he can easily get in the end zone, I think what Sharp was saying there, that's probably the best value if you're looking at this at any way. Once again, I don't think Brock Purdy's going to be the MVP. Even when the 49ers win, I don't think he's going to be the reason why. I think he's going to kind of play what he's been playing, and he's going to be overlooked like he's been overlooked all year. We're still, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a – but either way, if the Niners win, I think Debo gets the MVP.
Nobody on Kadarius Toney for 5,000-1.
There should be a bet if Kadarius is going to get a snap. That should be a bet. It should be one snap or none, and see what that line would be.
Sharp, take us home, man. Are you still the Debo?
think
Because I think it's strange. You like Debo, but sounds like you do like KC to win this game.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was saying I like the value of Debo in terms of if you like the Niners to win. I just think they're going to find a way to lose. So I just, if the Niners win, I think it'll be because of the run game and they play clean. They don't turn it over, which would be great. I'm not rooting for Kansas City. I'll be rooting for the Niners. I just want to see somebody different win. But at the same time, I just think the Niners will find a way to lose. But I don't think it's going to be Mahomes. Like, I think it'll be Kelsey. Like, I think things are just setting up where Kelsey's going to have another devastating performance like he did against the Ravens. And it's just like, it's going to be his cherry on top of a career. And he's going to ride off in a sunset. He's going to go to Disney World. Probably going to propose to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I heard that's like the storyline.
Like,
right.
He's probably just going to light them up like a Christmas tree. He's going to have all these crazy plays, score a couple touchdowns. Chiefs win. It'll be because of Kelsey. If the Niners win, it'll be because of Debo. It's pretty simple. You can't touch Mahomes with a 10-foot pole. For me, it's hard to go with Rashid Rice because to me, Rashid Rice feels like Damian Williams. Go look at the Super Bowl the Chiefs won where Damian Williams they actually beat the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Williams was devastating in that game, and he didn't somehow win MVP because he was kind of young kid, nobody, and they just gave it to Mahomes.
They should have.
To me, Rashid Rice is in the same spot, even if he has a good performance. Just the story and the names of Mahomes and Kelsey are going to be too hard to overcome. He would need a historical game, like 12 catches for 100, like a young Jerry Rice game. Like, nah, this is my league. And I don't see that coming. So,
and still might not get it because they'll probably give it to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, if he were to have like 200 receiving yards, then Mahomes is probably on his way. So,
the 400
for me, the only person whose name and story can trump Mahomes is Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah.
So,
that makes sense. All right, everybody. The bets for Super Bowl 58.
What's your score? What's your score?
I got 24 to 23 Chiefs. I think the Niners miss. I think the Niners miss a first half field goal, and it comes back to devastate them.
I tell you the truth, I think that's the weakest link in the Niners. I think Mooney.
Moody?
Is so like, man, bro. He's off and on.
He's a rookie. He's going to be so nervous.
If anybody is going to be exact, I think it's him. And I think you're right. That's why I didn't. I'm all about the field goal odds here. Like,
I got 24-23 Chiefs.
Touch him.
Man, score. Give me. I say. Give me 33-21.
Ooh. Yeah.
Close to what the score was before. I just don't think they're going to be able to really score. This defense has been playing lights out. And
What's the
like I said, they've seen these just think about. I was looking at back how they got here. They went through Miami. They went to Buffalo. They
that don't
beat
matter.
Baltimore. How does these are premier
Miami
teams though,
doesn't
bro?
count. Miami doesn't count though.
Miami doesn't count. But going to Buffalo and Buffalo,
Yeah, that counts.
going to
100%.
Baltimore and Baltimore.
Yes, and Baltimore. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but Baltimore.
It does whatever
Well,
it was with Baltimore.
All credit to
But
them.
they went to be more and they handled business.
They did. Much credit.
And whatever this thing about them being the bad guy, they are loving it. They are. I mean, I saw it once they heard the boos. You saw Kelsey like, yo, I want to play right now. Yeah, keep it coming. Chris Jones, come on, keep it coming. They relish in being the bad guy.
Yeah,
they do.
But
And I think we're going to see that.
You know what I'm saying? They haven't been the bad guy. It's like the first time.
But they relish in it. They want the hate.
If you win long enough in any sport, you become the hunted, and if you become the hunted long enough, you become the villain. Yeah, and they're kind of transitioning into that. They were the cool story, and now everyone wants to see them lose, and they're relishing on that.
They want to see them lose.
We're just seeing it. That's it.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they like it.
It's like
they do
relish.
It's the same thing as New England and Tom Brady. It's 31.
I think they do. I think they do.
Lost to the Giants. They lost to the Giants 2007.
But this ain't the Giants.
Undefeated season.
They see it as 31 teams are in their way of their trophy, and that's kind of how the Chiefs look at the league, and that's to their advantage.
This is legacy. They're looking at legacy. So I actually think I think it's been. I want to say I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen an ass whooping, but I mean we saw Tampa beat up on KC, pretty good. I think a couple of Super Bowls in Tom's last thing, but I think it's going to be pretty one sided. I really do. I don't see how they get past like that defense is for real on the KC side. So, yeah, give me what I say, 31, 33-21?
33-21.
Yeah, 33-21. Don't like it.
I will say I should have probably will take a bet on Nick Bosa, man. The right tackle for the Chiefs. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna whip his ass. I do think Reed will max protect. You know, Andy's so smart. He's not gonna let Nick wreck the game. He will just leave a damn tight end there the whole game if he has to.
That's funny.
So I could see him be just like, hey, Blake Bell, you're going to be in 12 personnel, and your literally sole job is to get in Nick's face. So, and don't let him beat the tackle. So,
before we go,
if San Fran's going to win the game, I think Nick Bosa's got to be special. I'll just say that.
Before we go, I did start seeing people already. I've seen some, some sharp bettors and some people already talking about, like, already putting money out there for next year with the early odds because the early odds have dropped. If there was a team that you would look at to bet for next year to win the Super Bowl, not saying we're betting it now, obviously the draft, obviously there's a lot going on. Who would you be kind of like, I expect this team to make some noise. Notable names that are out there that have odds out. The Jets are 25-1. The Texans are 22-1. The Lions are 12-1. I think the Bengals are 12-1. Those are only teams I kind of see that make a lot of sense to me. I think the Texans are really interesting at 22-1.
To win a Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah, it's tough.
Every year is so different, man.
Yeah,
different coaches,
it is.
Different places.
In the draft, people get hurt. You know what I mean?
I would go to Niners.
Oh, you go right back to the Niners?
I go to Niners to go back to Super Bowl.
Chart, what you think? Quick, slow.
Yeah, so I would go. I think it's actually the team picking at the top. I think it's the Bears.
What? To do what?
To go to the Super Bowl?
Make a deep run next year.
Shit. Man.
Hey, we gotta mark this ticket, man. If he
Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, like
if you
my
win this,
pick,
you-
my next year, my preseason pick to win the NFC is going to be the Lions. Like it's like last 2-3 years ago, I thought it was the Eagles' year. This year, I thought it was the Niners' year. Next year, it's the Lions' year. Like everything's poised for them. If
Yeah,
you're
for sure.
giving me the team that I think could go from nothing to take the big jump like the Texans did this year, for me, it's that Bears. To me, if the Bears do something smart, like trade from number 1 to number 2, let Washington take Caleb Williams. You go ahead and take Drake May. You also get their second-round pick and their first-round pick for next year. And if you all of a sudden hit like 4 home runs in the draft like the Lions did and get 4 impact rookies, maybe you've got all the money in the world. Maybe you sign a Chris Jones from Kansas City. Maybe you sign a Danielle Hunter away from Minnesota. You re-sign Jalen Johnson. They've got Jaquan Brisker at safety. I mean, they've got 2 really good young linebackers that we know. TJ Edwards, one of them. Like they're the team that to me is really good quarterback play and a really good draft from like winning 12 games.
Okay. I like to take. I see what you're saying. Like boom, like somebody who's going to do that. Houston says not saying like obviously we think the Bears, but if somebody was going to be from the back of the line to jump up just to make some noise.
Yes.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I shouldn't have said Super Bowl. I do think it's set up for the Lions and the Packers next year to duke it out to win the NFC. Both those teams are poised.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys made it to the end of the show, thank you for listening as long as you have and getting all the bets. But I'll tell you what. If you didn't check out the preview show that me and Sharp had, it was fucking ridiculous. Like it was simple. It was ridiculous. The bets that we had. The prop bets that we had for over 1,000 yards, like it was. I should have knew the year was going to be set up to be something special as it was, because the way we started off with those picks, it was really something. I don't think I've ever hit so many picks in the beginning of the year in my life. So, but with that being
receiver, every receiver we picked, when we even said the receiver parlay would probably hit, and it did. We had Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, Devon. Everyone went over their 1,000-yard milestone.
Yeah, it was silly. It was silly. So with that being said, as always, with the football season coming to an end, there are more things coming on the show. We got the draft show coming up. With off season coming up, I'll be adding some NBA basketball players once it kind of gets a little bit more thicker into the season. We have NBA. I think spring training. What is it, a month for MLB? If I'm not mistaken, for baseball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
pitchers
baseball,
pitchers and catchers less than that.
Yeah, so it's starting to heat up on some other picks, and then we're going to see what this was it USFL or whatever United Football League, what that even looks like. We'll take some couple weeks to kind of get a sense of that, and see what that league looks like. So spring football will be here. So plenty of things to bet. I'm dropping my my tutorials on how to become a successful bettor and using this as a side hustle. So make sure, man, we got a lot of stuff going here on Money Pot Betting and Money Pot Podcast. My name is Moss Money. That's Sharp. That's Diddy. Happy betting, happy hunting, and I'll see you boys in Brazil next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Week 1, baby. Friday, week 1.
Week 1, baby. I'll see y'all later. Good luck.